Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. We have a session on advertising. Yeah, so today we have Stephanie. Hello Stephanie.
Hi everyone.
Stephanie, and where are you right now?
Actually, I'm in.
Yeah, so we have our friend, and actually I've known her for many years on Facebook. Seen her doing a lot of workshops, advertising, and also social media, and now also doing LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
So generally the aim is to get more leads, because for any business, doesn't matter is it education or real estate or insurance, we all need to get leads then convert to customers. Yeah, so today Stephanie is going to touch on advertising as well as content marketing. So for those who have questions, just put in the chat box, and then as well as Stephanie can answer, she'll just look at the chat box and answer your question now. Okay, this is going to be a short session because Stephanie is going for another physical training soon right after this, so she has to rush off. So thanks so much for your time.
Oh, no problem. Thank you everyone for being here.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay, introduce yourself first. Then
Yeah. On LinkedIn, I also grew from 0 to being the top 2 content creator on the sales topic. So really showing you, because I think in John's community, it's like a lot of wholehearted selling, right? Like those kind of mission-driven kind of educators, right? So yeah, that's what I stand for as well, which is consultative selling, not hard selling, like selling without hard selling. In fact, I've been conducting quite a few like sales workshop is selling without selling. So if you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well, I share quite a bit of content there. And these are the companies that I worked with before. Even for InSeed, I ran a workshop for them as well. Yeah, just to show you I'm not a scammer. I also shared the stage with the property brother, although I know now they have quite something happening. But yeah, just showing like I'm on the ground now, and then also organize like different type of events and workshops, because I believe that when we do marketing very well, the sales become very easy. So you need to hard sell.
Very good.
Yeah, a lot of teacher, educator, they don't like to hard sell. We don't like to hard sell. So that's why our marketing need to be very well done. Yeah, so these are some of the, like from 0 to 6 figures for one of our previous clients, and also help another one to reduce her cost per lead also. So not saying ads is the only way. Now, because social media algorithm is so strong that you can test with organic first, but for organic, the game is quite in terms of volume and specificity, of which I'll share later. And yeah, just some testimonials, and also like work on how I help clients to reduce their cost per lead, even down to $6 also have. But all this is a lot of testing. It's not to say it's easy, but it's what I'll be sharing with you all today as well. Whether you are doing paid ad organically, no paid ad also can. So I've also looked through some, like these are some of the funnel. We also help our biggest set developer build also. So just part of our job. So maybe I can get you all to share what's your biggest challenge when it comes to like content or ad, if you have, or follow up, because today's theme is content or ad, and then the follow up. Actually, because I came from sales, I do audit a lot of messages, follow up messages. I do help to audit. So let's say if you are facing any challenges like that, you can let me know in the chat, then so that I can address it.
So I think the first question we can is to break it out into paid ads and then organic content. Yeah, so when it comes to for the audience, I know that not many people are, and in fact there are 3 AI bots in the audience. So take down notes. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So anyway, type paid ads if you're doing paid ads. Type yes if you're doing paid ads. Type no if you're not, so you can get a sense from the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Half 3 do paid ads, including myself. Yeah. Okay. The other one is for Stephanie. You also need to know what is their biggest challenge when it comes to doing content.
Whether it's content or ad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, type in what is your biggest challenge when it comes to creating content. It doesn't matter whether it's put in your Facebook wall or in your IG or use as a paid ads. Type in and share with us what's your biggest challenge. All right. Stephanie will continue first, and then as and when they help, we'll just take it.
Yes. Okay. Because I also got some example here that I managed to get. So if you are facing, I'm sure some can relate, like you might be getting lead, they MIA halfway through the conversation and all that. So actually, or they suddenly don't want, or when it's time to pay, they don't pay, or they totally don't reply at all. Some are complaining. These are quite common across the industry. So actually, one of the reasons why is the trust gap. There's record high level of mistrust, like lack of trust, because everyone is seeing ads every day. That's why we very encourage people to build funnel, whether you are doing paid methods or organic method. It's because it won't take one touch point for a sales. It will take multiple touch point like this. So the core acquisition could be something like, maybe some of you are doing diagnostic. So I find that giving like a free diagnostic or free audit, something like that would help, or even free mock exam. Previously we did this and it was very successful, because when we can come up with very fresh new kind of offer, meaning the meaning of offer is like a new way for people to come and try, whether we don't call it trial, although it is a trial, but we name it very differently because we want to freshen up, like we want to make it from like something fresh. Then you can attract a lot of new leads, and then they can go into your core acquisition where they do the mock exam or the diagnostic. Then you can slowly nurture them, whether you can help them audit and then show them where they are missing out or not doing well, or where can be improved. Then you can convert them. If not, then of course you have your conversion system, like you have your YouTube, your long form video, and then your email to drip them. Like it's like a drip campaign. Then they become a client. I'm sure this is not strange, right, to all of you. Like it's not a strange concept.
Yeah, it's not a funnel. Some can have short one, which is bring them into the WhatsApp chat. Yeah, group also. Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, get them onto trial class, and then get them to convert to regular lesson. Yeah. So it depends on the funnel. Actually, all of us have funnels, either short or long money.
Yeah. And I realized from our experience running funnels, the first step is very important, meaning the offer. If you can come up with something very fresh and new, then it will attract a lot of leads as well. Yeah. Instead of, okay, you are used to doing mock exam, for example, then is there a way we can change the way we call it? Is it like, oh, submit your past year paper online or to us, your past paper, and then we audit it for you, something like that. Make it very frictionless and a good first touch point so that we can continue adding a touch point. Yeah, but it's good that John mentioned that you all already have. So another thing, yeah, so this is basically the funnel. I've managed to get some examples so we can go through together. Like we treat it like a live ad audit because we really ran a lot of ads, like at least 30 to 50 ads a month, and we test very different variation. But ads is just a paid method, which is you use money to boost it, right? Of course, you use ad manager and all that, but you just use money or budget to reach to more people. But if your organic can be very specific and effective, it can also reach to your specific audience. But a lot of people fail in terms of reach, impression, all that is because they are not specific enough. So yeah, for example, this first ad is if your child is aiming not just to do well in science, but to score consistently, this book was written for that purpose. Can anyone maybe share what do you think this is good or bad or what can be improved? Yeah, just to test you all.
Actually, personally for me, even though we've been running Facebook ads for the past 15 years, I wouldn't say that I'm an expert. Okay. But I think right now, as much as the angle is fresh, somehow I think it's also commonly used. Like many people are offering diagnostics, everybody are giving away the secrets. Yeah, many people are giving away and shouting, wow, I'm so good, I'm the best, I can help you to get certain grades, best in the world.
That's why I find there's still a few angles that we can use. And like you say, if we only copy or reference each other, right, the idea will get more and more saturated. That's why there's a technique which we call the cross-industry reference, meaning we go and reference other industry, how they do it, e-commerce or maybe the automobile or anything like that, that we can cross-reference. So that's not to always reference your competitor or the too close proximity, but go out and reference that. And don't need to start from zero. So for example, because we test a lot of angles and variation, right? This one, we think it might not hit the nail is because it's too general. There's not enough pain point. People don't just want to do well. They have an underlying need or problem that they want to solve. So if we want to promote something, it's good that we be clear what problem we solve and who do we solve it for. Only these two, what problem and who. So a lot of ads fall flat or a lot of content fall flat is because this tool is not being emphasized. And for example, actually, I find ad quite good, but because I can see that they test a lot as well. If you open the ad library, they test a lot. And I find it's like from before, so the before and after is also a strong angle to use. And also you see there's problem from struggling to studying law. Here is your kids just want to do well. But that is just the surface level. So we can go another level up, which is like from struggling or from not liking oral tests or what, and then not being able to articulate the idea effectively. So it's like specific problem, call it out. Yeah, will be better. So you can apply this and test it out and see it for yourself. This one is okay, but it's too price driven. And yes, there's like struggling, but not enough detail. Sometimes we find the copy can be better. And also too feature driven, not talking about the desired outcome or painting the desired outcome also. Yeah, so that's why if we can tweak all these minor things, actually can really amplify our ads results. Important thing is don't do very similar stuff the market already has, but we can find different offer or focus on problems the red ocean has. Like for example, maybe mass market, too big class, and then not focus on specific problem. We have bootcamp that is focused on comprehension or composition writing. So we realize from our past ads is that when we do very specific bootcamp, it's easier to get more leads. But of course, the pain or the problem has to be validated. Like it's really the top 3, top 4 problem that students face. But all these competitors are not calling out, are not emphasizing. So you see, there are no specific problem. So that's why if we can be specific, it can be our.
So just to clarify, nowadays, because there's so much noise in the advertising world, you want, instead of going broad, you want to be as specific as you can and just to nail one or two at least, at most.
Yes, have to be exactly. I'll share some more examples.
Yeah. Actually, it's quite interesting because it goes against the many beliefs of educators that the best is to be the master of all trades.
Okay.
And be able to take care of everything or clear all your problems.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that is what everyone else is claiming as well. So might as well we nail down, for example, EduEdge. They nail down to one unique mechanism. They have one unique mechanism, which they always say, actually to master or ace English, you actually have a formula for it, right? Instead of just read more, do more practice book and all that, they actually turn it into a formula. So I find that they can stand out very well and they can grow very fast. I observe how well they are growing. It's because they get into a unique mechanism and call it themselves. It call it like the thing belong to them one. But actually every teacher are also doing that, right? It's just that we don't turn it into a unique mechanism. Like for example, instead of rote learning or rote memorizing, you actually can follow our formula, something like that. So you can actually figure out, okay, how we solve our student problem. Then we break it down to steps and then we come up with acronyms. It can be as simple as that. Yeah. So for example, structured. A lot of parents, we realize, also like structured programs. So that is a step-by-step. And also like why choose us. Like, do include this in your ad or content. Because a lot of time, educators are very passionate with what they are teaching that they forget about their unique selling proposition or what makes them unique or why should you listen to me. We are eager in teaching and teaching that we forgot like we must grab them first, grab the attention, then only people want to listen to our teaching, for example. Yeah, because everyone has short attention, right? Yeah. And you see, this one is pain point driven. Your child can't focus in class. Here's why. Then people will click. So you can compare this to those previous one I shared, too generic or too much on a book, on a program that you have and all that, but not enough like talking about their problem. Because again, if there's no problem, people don't pay attention. See that? Okay. Next slide.
At the end of the day, people just want to be understood. They know that you're the best, but I think just like us, when we buy something from any person, we just want to feel that we are heard. The person hear our problems. May not be able to solve, but at least I feel safe and I feel understood at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm just showing the breakdown. This can be applied in whether it's content or paid ad. It's like first getting the attention is using their problem. So that is like, hey, yeah, like you say, John, to show them, hey, I understand what you are going through or what you are facing. Then they will continue reading. Then they will have interest. The first one is the attention. Then continue to warm up the interest, then the desire. So all this is to build up the interest so that they can, every sentence lead to build up interest to read again and again until the call to action. So a lot of time I find, yes, it's very simple. Maybe a lot of people already know what is AIDA, but not many apply it. Many still based on, because we are so passionate with our teaching or product, right? Yeah, we can get carried away. So we can use this kind of framework to put us back. Hey, let's step into their world first. Let's step into their world so that we can relate to them and they can listen and scroll. Yeah, and then clear call to action. These are also like good angle to use, like more testimonials, more proof of work. A lot of time we teach, but we don't share stories. So people actually want stories as well. Yeah, and results driven and all that. Have to say, we compared before. If we do talk about result and don't talk about result, the result really different a bit in terms of the cost per lead or the number of leads. And these are one example that I find is quite good. There's a few. I know one of your member also, I think it's Chewing, also submitted some. Then I also went to audit. So yeah, which I think is good. There's stories, but can be improved further. For example, not showing just the what and what we do and all that, but like why it matters and then the problem, meaning create more resonance. So for example, like this, like what are the format and CV 2026 changes? So it immediately grab people. And then what are the math nuggets? So people always want nuggets. It's quick, it's fast, bite and all that. Small class, big growth. And not just talking about the what, but how does it help students? Because people always will only stop if it's beneficial for them. Will only stop to consume if it's beneficial for them. And like problem driven, like my child is weak in English composition. How can they be better? Then people will follow. So her page is like quite okay as well, like quite a lot of followers. There's also other examples. Important thing is step into their world. What are the top questions they always have? And then we create content based on that. How can I improve my child English vocabulary and all that? Yeah. What if my child burns out? So these are all like very peak curiosity kind of topic. And also if we don't want to run ads, we want to do organically, it's important that we know volume is very important as well. Like posting more, but more specific so that the algorithm recognize you as the go-to in this problem. For example, maybe PSLE English or English oral paper or what. Yeah. So that's why specificity matters now instead of generic, so that the algorithm works in favor to get more leads or people looking for that solution to your page as well. Some example that we did is like before, after. If your child, the old way is like memorizing, but if your child already know the method, then they will have more like confidence. And then it's like before, after. Like before it is that once they know how to, the formula and all that, then they can pass better, for example. And then of course, all these are like, even in content, organic content, you can also add this, is to add credibility because these are real estate. So whatever that you have, you just put in like how many years, how many % of students achieve what and all that, the success story. Because these are all like, how to say, volume. People need to see our brand, our messaging for 7 times at least to actually remember us. Yeah. So like from before to where to what they can, then the before after. We find this what works very well. And also this is like also what I mentioned of it can be a trial or a first class cheaper, like 25% or what. And yeah. And then what makes you unique? Is it critical thinking? You encourage critical thinking, and then your class actually talk about like current affairs, clear frameworks, and all that. Yeah. And then we also talk about problems, like students have ideas but don't know how to elaborate them clearly during oral. So it's very specific. And actually this worked really well. This campaign was a success. Yeah. Very low cost per lead and a lot of sign up. So I think the important thing to sum up what I've shared is everything that you share must call out a problem, a specific problem, so that they have interest in your product or your service. So this is the bridge. You are the bridge. But however, if there's no problem, only just a product, there's no contrast, there's no trigger that makes them want to know more. Hyper-specific or hyper-customized offer works better. Like John mentioned also, there's a lot of people doing diagnostic. It's not uncommon, yes. But can we be more specific? Is it oral diagnostic or comprehension or composition? Which paper, for example? We can even go down to that kind of specific. You might be surprised, like actually a lot of people are facing that problem and want to actually solve that specific problem. Yeah. And also a lot of time, right? Now we are in the follow-up segment. A lot of time people thought the sales process start from the moment our lead send in a message. Actually the sales process actually start way before they approach us. They've been observing already or surveying. And why I'm sharing this is our content need to address their objection as early as possible. You see the objection I move here, not at the end. Because if at the end or when they message, they still have objection, meaning we haven't done our work yet, meaning they haven't seen our value. So our content has to address all the top objections. So how to do that? We can collect all the objections that our prospect usually have, that we can share it across our content. We can even compile it to our FAQ list or even a video and then send it to them. Don't wait until they send in a message. We can address it way earlier because the sales process has already been done. The time when they send in a message, actually the last 20% already of their decision. So we want to help to quicken the sales process. We should share more that address the objection. That's why don't just talk about feature, talk about their fear, their worry, their concern. What if this doesn't work for me? What if my child don't improve after attending your class? What makes your class special? Why students, if they attend your class, learn better? So all this we need to address because we want to reduce the risk for them even before they send in the message. And we also need to know every leads are different. So most of them are cold. So still need a lot of consideration, lead nurture, and only the top 3% they are ready to sign up actually. But remaining 97, we still need to build trust. So that's why the trust building content is very important so that it matches the customer's journey. And if we want to increase our student intake and all that, we should actually focus on generating demand, which is talk about problem, then the solution. Talk about value of your solution, then their need. So claims and this will help a lot. Like method A versus your method. Then the lead or prospect don't have to find out themselves, like their concerns are already answered. So every ads and organic each plays very different role. So that's why it's getting more and more like on par with each other. If your organic is very strong, you actually don't need ad. But now a lot of people get stuck. Their organic are not strong and yet they don't want to boost it with their ad, boost or accelerate performance. And that's why we see a lot of great business. They are actually very good. They don't see the potential of really investing in ads can help them accelerate way faster. They want to wait for their organic to catch up. And I see this happen a lot with expert because as expert, teachers, educators, we are very good in what we do, but we also need to adopt the business mindset if it's aligned with you. If you want to grow, maybe some they cannot wait, they need the catch up, then they will use pay method. If your organic is strong, like you have the volume, you are able to build followers that's aligned with you, then you can go on with that. But some, their business cannot survive. So sometimes people use ads as a matter of surviving. So there's no fixed rule. Yeah, so that's why ads, if you're already spending on ads, it's important you build a system to further nurture them because 50% of the sales will come here from our experience. Even me, I'm running training company, right? Actually, 50% of our sales later on, for the leads that came in through the ads, 50% came in from our system, which is continuous drip campaign and all that. Only then we get 50% more sales. So that's why funnel is important. And also having content that address different customer awareness. So top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Middle of funnel usually is where people are stuck between 3 options. They are shortlisting already, but they want more essays or like, why should I choose you and that or versus the person? So we must share all this, why we are different in our content. But a lot of time we only share how to do this, how to do that, but we don't share like how our methods are different and how it's going to help them. Again, it's not just about ads and content, it's after that what happens. How can we create as many touch points as possible? That's why some webinar funnel works very well, or some book funnel or audit funnel or diagnostic funnel works very well if we can create as much touch point as possible. Do we check in with them after 1 month? They didn't sign up. Do we check in again after 2 months, after 3 months? And continuous email nurture and all that. Because some they really don't come in very. For example, this is one that I follow and very good email actually by Peak Lab. It's also very attention grabbing and it's also give value first, give value. And these are all creating touch points. And also, do we measure our appointment rate, our show up rate, our close rate, cost per acquisition, meaning cost per acquiring a new student, and return on ad spend? So if we don't measure these touch points, we don't know where is the problem. Is it the ads problem? Is it the follow-up problem and all that? So because if our ROI on ads is bad, we cannot scale, meaning we cannot put in more money. So that's why a lot of people don't like ads or they are resistant, is because they don't understand. Actually, if you track and you measure where to optimize and improve, actually you can make it profitable and works for you. But of course, you need to be good in follow-up as well. So I'm going to share with you like appointment flow lah. Okay, I'm going to make it simple. It's like usually, right, when we do follow-up, we very emphasize, the mistake is we emphasize on our product. Hey, are you interested to get our trial or what? But actually, you can see from here, usually we will set it to be like, we want to know more about the person first, their child. What's the latest grade? Do you know their challenges? If yes, what are they? Only when we get more clarity on this will we be able to advise. And when we advise, it's consultative already, consultative selling. There's no hard sell already. And you can see in this follow-up, there's no mention on product at all. Yes, they click in because they inquire about our academic diagnostic session, and then we ask question. A lot of time, follow-up message is blah, 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 long message on the company and the product. But this one, we want to keep it very short and question-based. Yeah. And we also will include a short brief, how a 20-second brief, let's say if we manage to call, like how we are different. Let's say we coach children instead of just being an enrichment center. We coach students to reach their high performance or high peak performance, for example. Yeah. So we need to come up with a 20-second brief summary and also further highlight why they need to attend. Not just a reminder to attend. A lot of time we have a lot of this, like reminder to attend. And also to add a pre-frame video. Now, a lot of time text can be very overwhelming. So we can make it simple. Let's say if you want to know more, then please watch this video. Or let's say before they come for the academic diagnostic, they can actually watch this video. So that is pre-frame them, let them know what they will go through during the process, what they can get from the diagnostic. Then they have clarity, there's more trust. When there's more clarity, there's more trust. So a WhatsApp flow, of course, is something like this. And it's important because we don't focus so much on the free book or the free whatever. We only use the free book or free diagnostic as a excuse, reason to know more about them. So that's the point I'm trying to get across. Yeah, so don't forget, the focus is always on them. What's the problem they are looking to solve? What are their challenges? What are the struggles? And also, what is their child's name, for example? Yeah, that one, make it more clear. Or can I ask, when can Shirley come for the diagnostic test, for example? So you want to personalize. Yeah, come up with a flow, and if reply, what do we do? If not reply, what do we do? But we will always start with calling first because we find that very much more personalized. If they don't answer, we will ask when is a better time to call back. And of course, we mentioned where we are from. Usually we get quite okay response. Okay, yeah, so that's the follow. Again, if we don't want to be hard selling, want to be consultative, we need to know what are their struggles. If there's only one main takeaway that I hope you all can take away, is this is the second point. The first point was no problem, they wouldn't be interested in your solution. Then the second point is blindness can't help with close, meaning can't help with conversion. So that's why asking questions helps, and consultative questions. And also before the appointment, what kind of reminder we need to send. This also will show our professionalism, like remind them what we are going to do during the appointment. We can send a video, the pre-frame video over, and then we ask again, is there anything else that we need to be addressed? Yeah, so it's like recap what we managed to talk about through the phone or WhatsApp, and then what we can address during the diagnostic call, for example. And then remind few times is better, 2 to 3 times. It sounds a lot, but trust me, some of our leads also thank us for our follow-up. Then after the diagnostic, for example, if they don't immediately sign up, remind them again, like re-emphasize what they say is important to them, what they wanted to solve, what problem, and then maybe you see some potential. For example, we can make, not just keep on saying, oh, you need to improve this, but also add some compliments to balance it out and remind them. Yeah. So far, anyone learn anything new from sharing?
Everyone, can you put in a chat box what is one thing that you learned from Stephanie's sharing? Putting in a chat box, I think, is also a courtesy towards the speaker that we are paying attention. Yeah, and it gives a lot of encouragement as well, because we are all teachers at heart. We want to make sure that you are learning. If not, you have to stay back for extra class. Hi, Stephanie.
Yeah, okay. I saw some sharing, like what are the challenges, right? Follow up but no reply. Standing out in the millions of ads. Yeah, so can try to implement what I share, which is talk more about specific problem. And also we need to be very clear what problem we help to solve very well and keep on talking about. Because if we don't, I understand also as teachers, educators, right? We might not really like to or enjoy talking about ourselves or bragging, but we need to know this is not bragging. This can be seen in a different way, which is self-advocate. If we truly believe in what we do and what we can solve the problem and the impact that we can create, we shouldn't feel shy to talk about it. Because when we talk more about it, imagine we can help more students who do not know about that but are looking for that solution. So we should don't feel bad about, okay, keep on talking. Actually, we help this student from here, from not able to write their own composition to feeling confident and can communicate better. So we shouldn't feel like we are bragging. We are actually helping the students who really need our solution to find us. That's why we must amplify it. And that's why I don't encourage generic, because generic feels safe because everyone is like doing that. So we should try a different method, which is go if they show more testimonials, or you can share like how you solve it for them, what did they go through, so that people who really need your solution can find you as well. So that's why I think, and I believe, like even from our experience of testing so many things, specificity really helps, really does wonder. And then we'll also mention attract eyeball. Yes. So actually, I'm sure a lot of you are using Claude and all that, right? You can also use the prompt something like, please help me research best practices for social media posts or content that got viral or have a lot of engagement. If you don't like viral, never mind. That can help me get a lot of engagement. Can you help me list out the hooks, ideas, and all that? So actually, we tested a lot because we sometimes run out of ideas, right? But with all this Claude, there's no reason we cannot come up with ideas. Then we can test. We test fast and we test a lot, and then we double down on what work. Okay, be more specific. Yes. Yeah, I'm glad a lot of people caught that. Yeah. Because in fact, because we also do work with some SEO tools and all that, they run a lot of ads. When they go specific, they also find a lot of new leads because it hit their pain point in Canva. Instead of, you can use this to design a lot of things, but if the Canva ad emphasize on freelancer, you can use Canva to create your income and all that very fast. You don't need to use complicated tools. Then you'll be surprised a lot. It attracted a lot of freelancers. So this is the specificity that I mean as well. Yeah. And the more we talk, the more buyer disconnect. So always encourage them to talk more, and you will already be able to gauge how good the conversation will go when they talk more, because people will feel heard. When people feel heard, like you are hearing them, it's high chance of conversion usually. So it's already like selling without selling. Just let them talk. And in terms of follow-up, I think we are not following up enough, to be honest. After auditing many behind the scenes thing, are we hitting this number 5 to 8 follow-up at least? Yeah, okay. And they must make a decision, but this one, I think we don't have time to cover. Yeah, let me see if there's any important thing. Okay.
I will leave it to you because I think you also want to wrap up properly so that it doesn't overwhelm the educators. Because I think as you're trying to find what else you want to share, what I appreciate and also learn from you is, for those who are not taking notes, please do so now, because actually what Stephanie has shared here is an overall framework of training in sales, all the way from pre-framing to selling and how do you sell with authenticity as well as follow-up. And then I think it's very generous of her to even share the whole conversation as in the script for WhatsApp, the script for follow-up, and then when you must do what and by when and what to do and how frequent to do that also. So much info.
It's really the script we use from 0 to hit 60. Like it's for one of our clients. So it's really the behind the scenes, it's not theory. Yeah, so I think to recap, it's not just about the ads or you running ads or not. That's 20-30%. The rest is really the follow-up and the touch point. Do we give value, invite them to workshop, webinar, seminar and all that? And also, do we ask enough questions to be consulted? Yeah, to be consulted. And also because whether it's in our conversation or in our content, we always want to capture, okay, what's their pain point? What's their problem? Only then our solution will become attractive to them. We'll only speak to them. Only then when we speak about solution, it brings meaning, it carries weight. So that's why finding the problem is very important. Yeah. And the touch point. Yeah. This is the Google 7-11-4 rule. Like you need 7 hours. That's why video is very easy to hit. 11 touch points, whether it's email, WhatsApp, content, YouTube, and different location, online, offline, for the client to even take an action. Yeah. So yeah, and then the importance of offer design, like I mentioned just now, be creative with it, and then share more stories and case studies and solution. Yeah, basically really sum up what I hope to share with you all today. Yeah.
Once you're done, you can just stop share and then I can ask them to share now in the chat box. Okay, everyone, before we release Stephanie, because I think she needs to rush off for physical training in KL. Yeah, later I will fly off from Singapore to KL to find her. In 1 hour, can or not?
Not enough.
Yeah, even with the new train, I think also cannot, right? Need about 3 hours, right?
Yeah, or more. Yeah.
Oh, okay, can we give her a round of applause also? Yeah. Actually, Stephanie has been very kind. Just to tell you, I've been asking so many people in Facebook if they want to share. Many don't want, or they find that it's not relevant. Yeah, I think Stephanie is one of the very few who has a very big heart and she shares with us. And in fact, all these are not based on theory. She's actually the head of sales of a real estate company in Malaysia. Yeah, and she does training for big brands and also she does training for LinkedIn as well. So she has a lot of experience, and all these are experience that no one will tell you unless you are within our circle. Okay, Stephanie, any last takeaway before we end the call, and then we'll catch up after that?
You mean take away from me?
Yeah, what do you think is the most important thing that they must do right after this? Because I think I can say after this, many of us will just move on with our life, and then it will just be another event in our life, and soon it will be forgotten. So what is one thing that they must do right after this session?
I think it really helps. And across the industry, different real estate, training, healthcare even, we keep on talking these two things only. For who and what problem. That's it. Then our solutions suddenly become very attractive. That's it. That's the takeaway. Yeah.
Got it. Which also means that as much as you're teaching math, Chinese, or other subject, what I feel that when people ask you what do, you need to share more than what you're doing. Yeah, and specifically who are the clients that you work with very well and you can give the most results. Because otherwise, this is something that I always call because we go to network. Then many people will ask, so what do you do? Then many people will say, oh, and I teach math, and that's it. Or I teach Chinese, that's it. Or I teach English, that's it. Yeah, so please practice that when a parent asks you, please tell them exactly what you do, who you serve, and what sort of massive results you can bring for a very specific group of people.
Yeah, because that's how we can stand out in a very noisy digital space now as well.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.